everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking about my first book that has been published and everything else that I have written. Yes, this is a lot of notebooks that I have accumulated over the past couple of months, actually since July. So let's begin. The first thing that I will talk about is definitely my first published book, which is this, Whispers of Womanhood. This is a collection of 21 poems that I wrote during June and July. In June, I came across a post that was a call for challenge for authors and poets that by Bookleaf Publishing, that if you write 21 poems in 21 days, which was the 1st to 21st of July, when I did that challenge, it was 1st to 21st of July. If you write 21 poems, they will publish it into a book. And I participated in that. It was around 20th June that I participated. And considering that I was intending to participate in NaNoWriMo camp in July 2024, I decided that I would get a head start on this. And initially the plan was to find 21 poems that I already have, refine them and send them. But then I thought that if I have this opportunity to write a book, an entire book with a collection of poems that are somehow interrelated to each other, why not do that? And that is how this book was born. This was submitted to the publisher on 28th of July. And it was, I got the email that it has been published and available on Amazon on 3rd of October. So that was the turnaround time that I had for this novel. Let me show you the interiors of it. This is my dedication for this book. To my mother, steadfast and true, your belief in me, a guiding hue. In whispers of womanhood, I dictate, your faith and love, my path illuminate. To countless women, beacons bright, in darkest hours, your strength, my light. Through trials deep, you held my hand, in dedication, your courage stands. To each of you, my heartfelt praise, for shaping me in countless ways. In this collection, your stories shine, a testament to strength divine. With deepest gratitude and boundless love, Atiksha. I actually had plans to publish this book with just my first name, but that did not work out. I'll be talking about more of the publishing process in a video in a couple of weeks because I have more plans for this book, and hopefully by that point, some of my plans will already be in motion. I'll also add in the video of me unboxing this book for the first time and some of the clips that I have of signing some books. And this here, this here was the notebook that I used to write these poems. This is what it was. 21-day poem. And the corrections that I made. This was not the first edition that this was not the first attempt at these poems, but this was pretty much at the end when I was comfortable with knowing that it would just take a few changes, and that's how it was. Now let's move on to other things that I have written. I put this notebook aside thinking that I would write all the random poems that I have all around into this notebook, which as you can see is completely empty because I forgot that I wanted to do that. I have a lot of random little poems all over my Instagram and now on YouTube Shorts, and it will be on my blog when I finally get to writing get to actually publishing the blog, these poems would be there. So I don't know whether I will actually write in this notebook or not, but that is how it is. Now, moving on to what I did in July for NaNoWriMo. The challenge that I set myself for that, yeah, 3 notebooks. That is what I wrote in July. The challenge that I set myself up was 500 words per day, and I would be writing short stories. So that would come out to around 15,000 words for the entire month. And I wanted to set up a realistic challenge, especially considering that I would also be working on those poems alongside, because that was due on 28th of July. So I wrote these short stories, and let me tell you that between these two and something else that I was doing, which was writing a novel, I kind of burnt myself out during July. I did not write anything during the entirety of August, and I wrote a few thousand words in September, but nothing major, and October is still going the same. I am absolutely burnt out with what I did in July. So yeah, do not recommend doing that ever. So let's talk about the short stories that I wrote. I realized early on that it doesn't matter what I try to write, I tend to move towards women's fiction, whether I want to or not. So I decided to lean into that, which you can also see that I leaned into it completely during my poetry collection. I decided to lean into that again during my short stories, and I named it Women's Voices, Tales of Resilience and Revelation. I did a little cover for this because I do intend on publishing at least a few poems here. In this notebook, I have 7,713 words, which is 6 short stories. This is what I started with. And no, I have not touched any of these stories after I first wrote them. This is the first one. This is the second one. Third one, so on and so forth. Okay, so the plan here is to bulk up these stories. They're currently standing between 1,500 to 3,000 words for each story, and I want to bulk them up to about, I would say, 4,000 to 5,000 words, and publish them as short stories on directly on Kindle Unlimited. And when I have that, when I have a few stories out and a little collection out, then I will convert this into a collection of short stories and publish it into a book. That is the current plan. But for that, I will have to get back into it and start writing again, which I do intend on doing very soon. This was the first one. This is the second one, which has again 6 stories, and this one has 8,412 words, so a total of 16,000 words. And you can see that my stationery collection increased with every notebook. Some of these poems, some of these short stories I really do like, and I have high hopes for these stories. Some are there that need a lot of work. This is the third one. This is where I burnt myself out, like I said, and I have not touched it since. I wrote the 13th story and the 14th story, and I did not even complete the 14th story yet. Yeah, I don't think I did. I did not even complete that story, and I was just done. So this is all about my short stories. Now let's move on to the novels. Let me rearrange. So, for my novels, the first novel that I started writing, which was in July, again, a novel that is women's fiction. This is actually a novel that I will write. I have not written anything other than the prologue here. This is a complicated story. This is actually inspired by some of the trauma that I went through very recently. And I knew that was an important story to tell, which is why I decided I wanted to write this book. But then I realized I was not ready to dive into that immediately. So I have put this on hold. It will happen, but not at the moment. I'm not ready for this at the moment. And this is the novel that I am currently writing. And this is all I have written in this notebook. This is the first time I'm trying to write directly on my computer, and it is not going well. I have written around 7,000, 8,000 words, and I'm not able to keep up with that. Hopefully, I am thinking about going back to writing with pen and paper. That is my preferred way of writing, at least for the first draft. I can do later drafts with prints and corrections with pen and paper, but for the first draft, when I'm actually writing this stuff, I need to do that on a pen and paper. So I will be moving back from the computer screen to this notebook, and hopefully I will be able to write more. Other than all of this, I have also participated in two competitions in the past couple of months. The first one was India Writing Project, uh, where the results were just announced, and obviously I did not win it. The submission that I made for that competition was a poem. Other than that, I also wrote a poem for a competition for an architect to write something. I wrote a couple of a poem and an article for that competition. I have written so much stuff that I don't even remember half of it. Thankfully, it is all saved up in my Google Drive, so I don't have to worry about it. That is all for this video today. All the details of this book, this is currently only available in India, unfortunately, and the ebook is available on the publisher's website, but I am working on getting this published worldwide, and hopefully by the next video that I do about this poetry collection, I will have an update for you about that, and I will also be talking about the journey that I had about publishing. So thank you very much for staying with me and for coming along on this journey of my writing. Next month, hopefully I will have a better update about the novel, or at least about the short stories. And also I will be recording these poems and posting, not the entirety of the poem, at least at the moment, but little excerpts from these poems I will be recording and posting on my Instagram and this YouTube channel. So if you want a little glimpse of what these poems are about, you will find that there. Thank you very much. See you all next time. Bye bye.